Hey there, guys, gals, fans, and pals. Your buddy JohnMegacycle here. Yeah, so this is our summary video for the latest OpenTTD tournament hosted by Megacycle Entertainment. The theme for this one was City Builder. Now, there's a bit of preface that it's required here, but let's just go over everything, right? So this was a script. Normally we play with some new GRFs, but this time it was a script called Simpleton's City Builder. The only thing that I changed, so I downloaded the script, checked to see if it worked. The only thing that we modified and we agreed on as a community was this option: generate power plant, water tower industries for each town, climate dependent on. That's the only thing we did. So as we're going through this, you might notice there are a lot of power plants. That's the one thing I'm going to mention. But let's take a step back and talk about what this script does. What this script does is you are allowed to set up a headquarters in a town or any residential. I guess they're called towns, right? They're not called villages. It's either a town or it's a city kind of a thing. Any town that is 800 or less in population. You claim it by placing your headquarters, and then you bring it goods and services in order to grow it as needed. So that could be passengers, it could be mail, it could be coal, it could be goods, it could be whatever. So by default, we didn't touch any of this, and I'll go over what everything is asked for when we get into one of the games. So this is our summary video. We're just going to go right down the list. The first player is Cinder Elm Creek. And I don't care if you see the passwords. The passwords are changed. They're different lengths. They're different everything, every single tournament. So it's not that big of a deal. DC Transport. Now, where? I want to see their HQ, because that'll show us where the heck we are. Oh, wow. Okay. McAlpine's town. Let me get down the notes here for 2,288 people. Okay. And we're going to go completely through Cinder Elm Creek's run, and then we'll talk about how this was scored. Because I want to make sure that you understand how this worked before we get too far. A couple of observations I'm noting here is they built a bunch of these rail lines like this. Can you see it? See it all right? Like that. That was to probably curtail expansion, to prevent anyone from building out far too far. And then that would kind of trim up all of the routes and stuff. Are these all... These are all the same. McAlpine East, McAlpine West. Yeah, that's all the same stuff. We probably have a thing in the middle somewhere. Yep, right there. Right there. Very cool. Nice layout. So, let's take a little bit of a walkthrough and see what Cinder Elm Creek did. So, they are bringing passengers probably from Nika, McAlpine's West, East. Let's take a look at the map. That'll give us a little bit of a better idea. Wow, they brought products from every frickin' where on this side of the map, yeah. So, farm to factory, factory to goods, goods to delivering. That's pretty darn impressive. Same thing, farming. You can learn a lot by a map. And that's like a really dumb statement. Like, yeah, there's a lot of information on a map. No crap. But the thing is, like, there's a lot we can peel apart and really start to work with here. I bet you the power plant for this town is over here. Wow, that's a bit of a stretch. That's a bit of a stretch. Let's discuss what's happening here. This is what I was calling during my run a reverse feeder station. And the cool thing is, like, a lot of people came to the same conclusion when we were talking about it in the Megacycle Entertainment Discord server. This was kind of the thing. So, a ton of goods are going to be brought to one station, and then they're going to be fed in a very specific manner to whatever needs it. So, in this case, a power plant. Instead of dropping full train loads and ensuring full train loads are happening every single month or whatever, this way you can really curtail it. You can really detail it down and say, here's what we need. I need 200 coal. I don't need any more because it would be a waste. I don't need any. I need more than less than that because that would mean no growth, right? So that's kind of how this works. This is, yeah, I've been calling these reverse feeder stations. So instead of trying to pull goods out of the power plant or out of whatever, because the power plant doesn't produce anything, what this is doing is this is feeding something in a very strict manner. It gives a lot more control over everything. So that's very cool. So same thing here. This is bringing goods to this factory. This factory produces goods. Yeah, there's nothing here because it's being fed immediately to this station. There's some goods. And then the trucks are just bringing it in as necessary. That's a very interesting setup. Let's go through the rest of the setup, and then we'll talk about scoring and how this player performed. Pretty simple stuff. Yeah, passengers and all the resources, everything. Coal is on its own line, so we can follow this all the way. This goes all the way up to the coal line. Everything else seems to be on its own main line. Natalia and Mark. This looks like this is strictly for profit. I don't think this is going anywhere else specifically. So that's cool. We're going to find some routes that were just made for money, right? Because it was necessary. Yeah, all these tie all the way back into... wait, was that also for profit? I lost track. Okay, this looks like this is going to the coal line. But it also has passengers on it? Interesting. Okay. I must be reading this wrong. Oh, that's a factory. Or that's a farm. The farm goes to factory. I don't see it bifurcating where I would expect it to. This is all still going out. Oh, there it is. Yeah, okay. So, okay, that brings in farm products. Oh, crap. Sorry, I had my Discord up. 2 seconds. I've been getting really bad about shutting that off right before I want to do some recording. Okay. Good stuff. All right. I'll get to that message later. Yep, that was me. My bad. So, very interesting setup here. A lot of density and a lot of effectiveness for the tournament requirements. Yeah, passengers. These are all just transfer, and then these are most likely the bus and the good lines in. So very, very impressive. This is a very strong setup. 2288 is their population. So we're grading on 2 criteria, and I want to discuss both criteria. The first off is population. When the tournament concluded, I brought back all the population numbers to the community, and I was like, hey, here's how we're going. If we're just going on population, this was a city builder challenge, it makes sense. Then Bogus said, you know what might be a little more fair is if we see how many months of growth there were. Reason for that being would be like if somebody didn't get what they were expecting, like if they had like 200 or 300 months or just something of pure growth, but only got like 200 people, that sounds like that's a fault of the script, and we wanted to make sure they were, rewarded as such. So, in here, I should have probably done this in a different order, but in the goals, this actually spells out a little bit better of what the town is requiring, what is delivered, and how many months have been delivered to the station. So, in this case, let's see here, 194 months are what we're talking here. I'm just taking notes real quick. Getting all this jotted down so we can do our summary later. So 194 months. That's a strong number out of 240 months. All right, we did 20 years. 300 is not an option. 300 months. 300 months of growth is not an option. So this breaks down everything here that is related to DC Transport, the town that they own. There's also the storybook, which shows how the growth has been. And this goes annually, so we can just go through the list real quick here. Very consistent growth for the last 10 years. Yeah. Very impressive. Very impressive. This build is very clean. I don't really have to do a whole lot of talking about how this works. This is a very clean setup. Very impressive. I didn't think we would see any trucks, but very, very good stuff. So well done, Cinder Elm Creek. Let's abandon that one. Okay, next is Bogus. Okay, command prompt. There's their goals. UHQ. This is Bogus's city. Okay. Very good layout as well. Some substantial growth. What do you have for population? 3425. Oh, wow. And then how many months of growth? Growth stalled 140 months out of 240 in total. I'm going to assume that means 100 months of growth, right? Still incredibly impressive. Yeah, let's check this. Let's check their storybook. Very strong early growth. Wow. Wow, 600, 500, 500. That's very impressive. Very impressive. Okay, so I'm going to pop this open again. So, at these stages, you might have noticed, and I didn't really mention, different goods in varying quantities are required. So instead of just coal and passengers, which are the first two things required, mail and then goods and then valuables are also required. That worked out very well. Yeah. Let's take a look at their layout. I'm not gonna pretend I know what this does. Valuables. Huh. That's interesting. Are valuables not consumed when they're delivered? They should be. I'm not too entirely sure what this is. Are these just sent to transfer? No, they don't do anything. Go non-stop. Full load any cargo, go non-stop. They're okay. Interesting. What is the coverage of mail to? It does cover the bank. That's how my brains. I don't. Huh. I'll join the company and I'll just maybe observe. I don't know. Anyway, coal mine. Very nice. Oh, thanks, John. Hey, nice. You're welcome. Okay, so different side of the world. I forgot what the name of this one was, but it's to the east of Eric, north of Stephanie. I don't remember the name. I should have remembered the name. Much more stretched out, I feel like, in this one. A lot of lumber. Yeah, they kind of went the same route I did, with lumber being the main goods producer. Yep, that works out really well. And then this brings it to... Yeah, that's for that. This brings it all the way to here. A lot of passengers. Holy craps. A lot... Yeah, that makes sense. The goods are dropped off there as well. Interesting. Okay, population, that makes sense. This challenge wasn't a difficult one, I would say. But it was fairly complex with the execution. Now this is interesting. Wonder how this works. So the rules to set up to properly expand a town is you need, 5 stations and at least 1 passenger transported between each of them. It's something like that, right? I understand the theory. It's the execution that gets me every time because I see such creative designs like this. And like, is that all that's really needed? I mean, 3 passengers, no pass. I mean, I guess that would work. It was told to me also by, I think, Cyberpsycho that when you have multiple coverages and stuff, everything's divided equally. So maybe this works out great. City development is the worst thing that I'm at. That was a weird way to say that sentence, but it's my least strong option. There we go. Is this covering anything but the coal mine? No, it isn't. Okay. I thought it was going to also get some of the population area. Yeah. Very clean setup. Very straightforward. Yeah. That's really cool. I always like this. I like to look at all the little stuff, too, if I can. Yeah, I don't mess with tunnels or bridges nearly as much as I should, but this looks really clean. Yeah. It ensures that trains can get serviced if they need it, and then they can just scram off. Yeah. I also see that Bogus has spent quite a bit of time preparing other towns for growth, not just theirs. I didn't do a darn thing with mine, I'm going to be honest. Stephanie Manufacturing. Really nice layouts. Oh, are you actually getting... Oh, you are getting goods. Now, this is a smart move. We found out in my run, or I found out in my run, whatever, that the cost for removing farm tiles is exorbitant. Like, bad. So this works out really well. Brings products in, drops them off. Kind of end of discussion. This is a factory, so it's already producing it into goods, and then it's getting carted away. Very good, very impressive, very clean build. A lot of really tight density. More spread out, though, for the population. I mean, that makes sense. Just there's a lot of branching off over here. These little guys aren't going to produce a lot of passengers or whatever, but still very cool, yeah. Well done, Bogus. I'm just getting the rest of the notes here. 3425 in population. 100 months of growth. The rest of that there, right there. Okay. Very good. Well done, Bogus. Okay, next is... let's see. Cyberpsycho. Let's see what they've got going on. Okay. Alpine. Was that also the name of your... Huh. Oh, that was your name. Oh, okay. It's modeled after the character's name, not the name of the company. Alright. 2151. Just jotting that down real quick. Okay. Let's take a look at their stats. Grew 231 months out of 240? What? Dude had a 9-month setup, and that was it. That's insane. Hang on, I'm just getting the notes down for it. Wow. I thought 194 was pretty freaking stonk with Cinder Elm Creek, but 231? How? Man, this is why I wish people would put up their videos. I want to see that run. I want to see everyone's run, to be honest. I'd like to learn how the hell... Oh, another thanks, John. Duh. Y'all are sweeties, you know that? Y'all are just sweeties. Okay, I'm blushing. You can't see. I don't do a webcam. I'm blushing. Okay. Looking a little more complex with this one. Let's see where to start. So, oh, someone actually did oil. I purposefully avoided oil. So oil goes there, goods come out. This looks like an interesting interchange I'd like to further examine. Lumber specifically comes down to here to the sawmill. This shouldn't be holding anything, but this should be holding goods. Yep. And then goods get piped all the way back to the main vein. Very nice. Man, some of these players do poetry in motion levels of logistical work. I don't. I like get the thing working, right? I play too much Factorio in Mindustry, where my aesthetics stuff comes much later. Get it working. I can slap down green circuits probably as fast as all of them. But oil ran dry. Let's see. There's a way to see all the flags? Thought maybe not. Maybe I'm signless. There we go. I tried. What the heck? What the heck? What the heck is all this about? Was water gonna happen? Just cart this all the way in? Wall of disappointment? How did you have the money for this? How did this even happen? I thought that... Oh, okay. The Pyramid of Shame was built first, and then this got placed. Tolbarone Hill? That's cute. I don't get the Wall of Disappointment. Oil ran dry, no more oil. I tried. Right, I get all that. I get all that. Pyramid of Shame. Man, if that's a game reference or something, I'm just not figuring out. I'm not gonna blame that it's too early or I haven't had enough coffee. I think I'm just not seeing it, but this is... That's very impressive. Even from a money how much money do they even have? 4 million, yeah. I guessed, considering they dumped how much into everything. Yeah, oh my god, yeah. 43 million was 2 years ago expenses. Yeah, that would do it. Oh, actually, does that fall under construction? Huh. I thought that would just fall under other cost. Anyway. Very clean layout, the 3x3 grid. So that worked out really well. What else to discuss? Coal. This is probably where an oil dried up. Nope, that's a coal right there. I keep saying population. Population is not correct. This is probably hauling valuables, right? Oh, bags of mail and passengers. Bags of mail, passengers. Okay, good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. Check out some of these other interchanges here. Compact, clean. Many of these trains seem like they're on separate-ish lines, which is nice. These tie-ins I always think are impressive. Using the bridge or a tunnel or something to bypass that is also pretty darn impressive. Also, the 2 bridge per line, the multiple bridges, Cyberpsycho talked to me through this, and I asked him, like, I don't know, a year ago? I don't know how long it's been. I asked him a while ago, I'm like, hey, why the multiple bridges? Why the multiple tunnels? And the logic is really simple, is you can't signal on a bridge, you can't signal on a tunnel. So if a train gets stuck, or something, or if it's a very, very long bridge, it helps. So multiple trains can be in transit at the same time, and the bridges don't become the bottleneck. So that's the exact reason for that. Very clean. Another very clean run. Oh yeah, this goes all the way up north for the passengers and stuff we just saw a moment ago. Yeah, very clean. Let's go over the storybook. Want to make sure we bring this up. Take a look. Yeah, amazing. For the first year, already 354 people? That's nuts. Not as much growth as I would have thought. So, this is probably one of the most key indicators that I'd say Cyberpsycho probably got a little less than expected population growth, considering. Yeah. Yep. Very impressive, especially with, what was it, 231 months of growth? Yeah, that's insane. So, okay, so actually I spoke this wrong. 105 months in a row. So what most likely happened is, like, the first 7 were not funded, and then funded a bunch, and then 1 or 2 dips in there. So it's 105 months cumulative, or in a row. cumulative, it's 231, which is still really stupid impressive. Yep, awesome. Cyber Psycho, well done. Well done, everybody, so far. This has been very impressive to watch. Did not complete. Number 5 is... Bodhi? Body? I'm probably mispronouncing this one. B-O-T-I. B-O-T-I. I'm probably mispronouncing that, and I do apologize. Okay. Let's take a look at where they are. Unnamed must not have been used. Yep, so they created a new one. They didn't take the old one that was there. UHQ. Oh. Oh my god. What? What is happening here? Alright. Let's take this from the top. 2316. Let me get that down. Okay. Let's take a look at their months. 160 months. Oh, no, hold on. Gross stalled. Oh, so this would be 80 months. My bad. Let me jot that down. Still really good for 80 months. 2316? Yeah, for 80 months. That's impressive. Okay. Alright. I don't really know how to start with this one. Let's do this backwards. Let's take a look at the logistics of all the routes real quick. I think this might be simple and straightforward. What? What is with all the buses? What? Hold on. 100? 100? I can't even say the whole number. 178 vehicles? Mate, you're kidding. Okay, it's 2, 4, 6, 8. It's a bunch of 49. This is what I wanted to see. You're all at the... Yeah, oh my god. Okay, we're doing... yeah, I can't talk. We're doing this backwards, like I said. I don't get it. It's impressive. It's impressive, but I don't understand all the trucks. I'm intimidated by the quantity of trucks. Okay. Let's go through a couple things here. Let's walk through the network, right? Lots of forestry stuff coming here. Goods going out. Fairly straightforward there. Man, they put a lot of effort and time into other town development. Yeah, I mean... Yeah, oh, the airport makes sense. That all makes sense. To get more passengers coming in. Woods, woods, woods. That's all coming to... Yep, right there. Easy stuff. Airport, airport, airport. We rarely see people do anything with airports. Oh, they actually had a good run with oil. Wait. Wait. No, I take that back. I saw the offshore platforms and I was like, oh, they did an oil thing. I don't think I got any offshore platforms in my run. Or they're not called offshore platforms. What are they called? Oil fields. Okay. That's also fine. Alright. Passengers, airports. Yeah, these... There's a lot of... Oh, how much aircraft? Nope. 93 aircraft? What? Man, thank goodness we don't have breakdowns enabled. That's... That's insane. This is insane. I don't have words for this. Okay, what the hell are any of you doing? Full load any cargo. What can you even hold? Just goods. Okay, so that doesn't matter. I don't know why I freaked out about that. Go to Bolt's Town Central, which is here. What's your coverage? Boltstown Halt. This is just a conga line of how so they get to here. Oh, then they go up, and then I don't get why this is happening. How's any of this supposed to work? Okay, well anyway, it works. I'm gonna actually join the company for a second. I just want to see this in action. It's insane. The trick is you got to make sure that this Bodystown Halt doesn't accept goods ever, or this whole truck thing doesn't make any sense. No, I want to leave the company. How do I do that? Spectate. This is insane. It's insane. But what I will say is this is probably some masterminding going on, considering they only had 80 months of growth, but they did very well with the population. So they're doing something right here. What it is, I don't know. But it's so much. How much stuff they got? New vehicles, 10 million. That makes sense. That's a handful of aircraft, yeah. They went crazy with it. I wonder how this would have played out if we did something much longer, like 30 years or 40 years. I wonder if this kind of gameplay would have been better than everybody else's or something. But this definitely stands on its own as unique gameplay. It's crazy. I don't have other words for this. I'm very much in all moderation kind of a guy. Like I don't know, like throw one extra train on it or something is kind of my deal, or throw 2 extra trains on it. Not, oh my, I love it. I love it. It's its own thing. Okay, I'm gonna just I can't. I'm still giggling about it. Okay, I got all bodies information down. Awesome. Okay, the last player, yours truly. That was just all crazy. I don't know what to say about it. All right. So, I went with Barbara. Very bottom. No one else went with Barbara or Brian or Jerry. So, let's talk about normal order. Here's my city. Jot it down, 7-Eleven. Not as impressive. Not as impressive. Let's take a look at growth. 184 months out of 240. So I did the worst in population, but I did the middle ground. I'm number 3 rank in terms of months of growth. So not too bad. So this is probably another really good example where a lot of months were put in and not quite the return out. So let's take a little bit of a walkthrough with my run. I was pretty happy with it overall, I want to say. I used cities like Eric and Stephanie and Brian for just... keep wanting to say population, because I play games like Deadlock 2 and Fragile Allegiance and all these other kinds of games where they're called population. How much population do you have, right? That's not quite right. I don't think I used Joe. I didn't use Joe for population. Damn it, passengers. But you can see all my coal routes. This was a to be if I wanted it. I didn't want it, so I didn't do anything with it. Natalia was also for passengers. Oh, I almost said it wrong that time. Lots of little feeder stations. I think I got some really good growth on some of this. 621 tons. I was really happy with that. So this is a regular feeder station. We have woods. I'll just say it like that. We have woods here loading up coal as quickly as they can, dropping it off in Heights. Heights is then taking it and sending it back. Now I realized I was going for smaller trains for more frequent deliveries. So I realized I needed a stacker. So this is a very simple stacker. I should have built it like a row station, which I think is what it's called, but I didn't. I still don't have that blueprint memorized. I still need the wiki up if I ever want to do it. But this was a neat little thing. It worked out really, really well. I'm happy with it. Yeah. Was there anything else I was like really happy with? Let's see. Any other junctions that mattered? I took advice from, I think it was Cyberpsycho and Bogus. And what I used these, I guess, long range. So this is a short feeder station right here from woods to east. Same deal. And then that gets dropped off here, where we have another feeder station of Joe Heights and Joe West, feeding there to here. And then that is taking that product all the way down to the sawmill. Sawmill is then hauling it for the rest of the journey to here. Now, this is what I was referring to before as a reverse feeder station, right? Goods are dropped off here. And then for however many much... I'm really good at words. Hi, JohnMegacycle here, professional language engineer. I'm really good at words. Thanks for joining my TED Talk. The trains I was going to moderate to bring in goods every so often, but I never got that far. Actually, I take that back. I got that far for like 5 months. And then everything stopped accepting goods, and I was like, you know what? Forget this run. It wasn't working out for me. No matter what I wanted to attempt, it just wasn't flying. So that's kind of the brunt of that. I also worked for the first time with timetables, which was interesting. If you're not familiar with timetables, it works very, well, I guess it's straightforward once you figure it out. What I wanted was approximately 2 runs every month, I wanted 2 runs every month all the time. I don't care when it happens, but I want 2 runs every month. So I kind of beat this together real quick without any level of proficiency, like I mentioned. Go to here, stay for 15 days. Go to here, unload. I should take the travel time into consideration or not, but like I didn't mess with this really at all. It took me a little bit to get going, but that ensured 2 months of deliveries every time based on the capacity of the train. I think I would have needed like 200 or something. No, where's the global storybook? Oh, is it there? Okay. I would have needed 200 goods. From 15 or per 1,000 pop from 1,500 pop. So even though I never got to 1,500 population, they still would have accepted the goods, and I was going to be delivering 200 on the regular, no more, no less. I thought that would really help even it out, rather than dumping, I don't know, 600 goods for 6 months, and then like, oh, 1 month I missed, or something. So that was kind of my feels about that. There's not really much to say about my run. My run is very traditional JMegs. I did do something like this, which cost a fair amount of coin, but I thought it'd be a little easier to get some more goods in. Worked out fair enough. This just goes here, and then truck it right over. The station was going to be far, far, far too spread out. I couldn't really link all this together, so that worked out pretty well. I would have liked to have redone this. I should have built a second train network coming in, but this is split, I think, 4 and 3. So depending on what direction you're coming from, you'll either be relegated to 3 lines or 4 lines, and that made this flow pretty well. It flowed pretty well. There wasn't a lot of traffic jams at all once we got this expanded out a bit, so I was fairly happy with it. I'd love to try this challenge again, But I think for my first time giving... Well, actually, this isn't my first time. I did this before for a YouTube playthrough. That was like years ago now, though. I want to say 3 years ago. And I never really got this script to work the way in which should be, or how I could have played it, or whatever. But anyway, still happy with it. I didn't give myself a thanks, John, which I probably should. I should do that, so I can be with all the cool kids, right? Yeah, okay. So let's talk about the end results, shall we? I'm gonna move this so we have the nice background. Yes, I'm weird. Thanks for noticing. From a strictly city size criteria, we have Bogus at the very top with 3,425. We have Bodie, again, I'm sorry, for 2,316. We have Cinder Elm Creek at 2,288. We have Cyberpsycho at 2,151. We have JohnMegacycle at 711. Now, that's just for the size of the cities. We've kind of agreed that we want to really go over growth. How many months of growth we thought that'd be a bit more appropriate for the winnings. So, if we're going by that criteria, and I believe we all agreed that we should, actually Cyberpsycho's the winner because of 231 months of growth. Not necessarily continuous, but total growth out of 240. Cinder Elm Creek would be second with 194 months of growth. JohnMegacycle with 184 months of growth. Bogus with 100 months of growth. And Bodie with 80 months of growth. So the winner for this tournament is Cyberpsycho. Absolutely congratulations. Excellent work. Really great effort out of all the players. Again, another tournament where we can see people doing their own unique style, their own signature, as I've been calling it, like their own way to interact with the environment and the tools and everything that's been offered to them. Really cool to see everyone do it their own way. So that wraps it up for me. My name is JohnMegacycle. This has been the OpenTTD Megacycle Entertainment City Builder Tournament. So thanks for joining, and I hope to catch you next time. Hey there, guys, gals, fans, and pals. Thanks for checking out my video. I also want to take a moment to thank all my supporters and donators, and if you'd like to join up with me and game with my crew, all the information to get connected is in the description below. Thanks again, and I hope to catch you next time.